Hello, my name is Joe Tranis. I am a small, self employed family business owner in South Philadelphia, and we've been in business for 3 generations. And we've been servicing a product that, like I said, was handed down to my father, handed down to me, and was just about to be handed down to my children. Um, Over the decades, we had built the business into a very profitable business, a very good business. And from that, we were able to expand and try to go into some other businesses and things. As of December of this past year, 2013, the manufacturer that supplied me with the product that I sell just told me they were selling the product no longer to me. And I argued that I'm under contract. How could you do this? I mean, for the last 7.5 years, you've been supplying me. And the thing is that in the last 2 years, they've opened 2 locations within 10 minutes of my place, one west of me and one south of me. Um, and now all of a sudden they cut me off. The story I'm telling you is to the letter. There is nothing hiding here. It's exactly what I'm telling you. And their stance is simply this: they do $64 billion a year. They're a big corporation. Like I said, they're probably the largest manufacturer of this item, if not number two. Um, they more or less just told me, go pound sand. And I threatened to sue, of course, for the breach of the contract. And the arrogance of the meeting was, do what you got to do. And I'm finding now that I'm, um, going around and get a lawyer. I mean, for me, to finally get a lawyer to talk to them to get one sit down so far, which absolutely solved nothing other than them, like I said, being arrogant to the point where it was, there's nothing you can do about it, just take it on the chin. But the problem here is that they didn't just cut me off and destroy just my business. They have literally destroyed every single person in my family that works for me. This is a family business. Then you take all the employees that worked for me. My employees have been with me for, almost from the beginning. I think the only one that hasn't been with me that, is like 18 years. I mean, my employees have been, they're family to me. They're not just employees. And 10 years ago, I started a program with my businesses. Um, and one of the guys I hired actually got me to get involved with this. And we started a thing called Brave. And it was Brothers Reacting Against Violence Every Day. And so all my employees are people who were incarcerated, and then when they got out, I gave a second chance to them. Now, I interviewed these people, and I have a lot of extensive experience in interviewing and figuring people out. So these were guys who made a mistake, did their time, and all they wanted was a fair shake. So I let them know when they came to me that if I liked their story or I felt comfortable with them, that I would give them the chance. And they weren't just, coming to work for a company, they were absolutely joining a family. So it's kind of funny because actually the only white people that work for my company are my family. Other than that, it's blacks or Hispanics. And sad to say, but um, they're the ones suffering right now, and that's who seemed to was being sent to me, and um, I was friends with a lot of police officers. Yeah, I am, and they would, I would ask them if they thought somebody deserved a break, send them my way. And anyway, over the years, we have employed many of these people, and the program actually works so well. Uh, the city started using some of my employees to come on their talk shows to talk about, second chance and all that. And it was something I was proud of. It was something that made me feel good. And like I said, me and my employees every year took a trip somewhere, or there was a company every year took them, and did something very good. I'm godfather to one of my workers' kids. I was best man for another. I mean, like I said, we have grown to be a close family. And when I hired them, I only really had one demand, and that was, well, actually, I should say two, and that was pretty much pure honesty and loyalty. There's no reason to steal from me when you can come and ask me and get it. I've helped them get apartments. I've helped them get cars. I've helped them out in legal fees. Uh, yeah, uh, they were behind with their probation or whatever, and I would help them catch it up. Whatever it took to help them out, I was there for them. So over the years, they really grown to be a family to me. And when this company pulled the plug the way they did, they destroyed all this. And I feel, you know, I mean, my kids don't even talk to me now because they can't find jobs to replace the money I was paying them, and I had to let them go because they cut my income down to almost nothing. It was my biggest product I sold. And like I said, I had 5.5 years left to the contract, and nothing. I received a phone call just saying, actually, our delivery didn't come, and we called it, what happened to our delivery? And they said, you're not getting it anymore. And what? And I called them, and they said, all we know is we're not to ship you that product anymore. That's all I could tell you. And then I, of course, went up the chain to different people, and I kept getting to run around and run around and run around. And I tried to seek counsel, but I found out that was like I said, I've spent 40,000 just to get them to give me the one meeting so far, and actually we haven't resolved anything as of yet. And I believe they feel that there's nothing I can do. I can't take them on. They know it. Um, Even though the business was very successful, and I've explained this to them. I don't have any cash, as might be able to tell from this video. I literally live in an RV on a piece of property, a ground I bought in Jersey, and I park an RV there, and that's what I live in. I mean, for the amount of money my company makes, I should be living in a palace. But as long as I get a few dollars in my pocket and I'm enjoying myself and doing something, and I'm having fun, whatever money there was left, a lot of my family, when the economy went bad, suffered. Now, I'm not talking about people who did stupid things and lost their money and were in trouble that way. These were, people who were caught up in things they had nothing to do wrong, and they just, but basically like I am now. I didn't do anything to deserve this. And I come from a very tight Greek Italian, family. My mother was full Italian, my father was full Greek, and we were raised. Whether you feel that way or not, this is the way I was raised. It was all for one and one for all, and we were an extremely large, tight family, and that has all been ripped from me because when they say, well, what happened? and I tell them, I don't know. They think I'm lying. They don't know what I did or how I should, and nobody's talking to them, and they can only get information from me. So they think I'm holding something back. So my kids are turned against me because they can't afford to cover their bills. They're starting to lose things. They're worried about their credit. That they bought things based on the income they were making, which, like I said, I took my little bit of money, whatever I needed to get through the month, and said, "Here, whatever's left, go enjoy it." And I got more fun out of watching my family enjoying the money than, I went through open heart surgery a couple of years ago, and they had to replace my aorta valve, which is my main valve, and my mitral valve, and double bypass. And, it was a long, dangerous surgery, and my family was concerned. So, as of last year, we were starting to talk about my kids taking over and me retiring, and that was, I believe, October. Then in November, we made our final payments to all the debt we were in for the last 7 years, and said, finally, so we had a little party to say, finally, we're out of debt. Now, we're even going to see more money, and that meant I could help more people, do more things. And in December, I received a phone call saying, you're no longer getting this product. So I've lost all my business to, I guess, their two companies and other companies. There was one other company that was selling the same product, but they really weren't competing with me. They had a captured audience of where they were and was doing good enough that they were satisfied with just that. And they were doing, that's why I said they weren't in direct competition with me. The depot they opened up that was not supposed to be open to the public, that they did open to the public, has taken a lot of my business. But the other place I just mentioned, they just recently, this past year, purchased. So now they are in direct competition with me. And then in December, I received a phone call and cut off. And I think what they figured here is, why buy my company or pay me off when they could just cut me off, put me out of business, and I can't do anything about it because the expense to start the lawsuit against them, they'll bury me with paperwork and legal fees. So suing them, I'm being told by most of these good lawyers I'm talking to, is not kind of an option because of my financial situation. So I'm just asking, what do you think? What would you do in this situation? When somebody just literally cuts your life to shreds and shreds your entire family life, and all the people around you that had faith in you now have to go out and find jobs. And because of the great program I put in effect, most of these guys are convicted felons, and convicted felons, trust me, can't find jobs today. And that was one of the things they loved when they finally did come to work for me. After a while, they realized, hey, this guy treats me like a human being. He's not looking at, they told me other people they went to work for, would tell them, push them around and treat them like shit because they could just tell a parole officer that they were acting up, and boom, they were back to jail. Where me, I treated them like they're supposed to be treated, and paid them like they're supposed to be paid. Anyway, looking for some help or advice here. So if you have some, I'm willing to hear it. I really am down to my last rope. Thank you, and I appreciate you listening.